Welcome to the Warframe Weapon Encyclopedia, where today we're checking out the Brakk. Now, getting the parts for the Brakk is a little bit different to most other weapons because they come as a drop from the Glyph 3, which is a Grineer assassination squad. And depending on who you ask, it's either very easy to get or near impossible. There are two ways in which you can make the Glyph 3 come after you. The first and main one is by doing Grineer versus Corpus invasions and supporting the Corpus until you annoy the Grineer enough to where they send you a message. That message is basically a sign that you've been marked for death by the Glyph 3, and once you play some Grineer missions, they will show up and try to assassinate you. The second, far more straightforward, if more expensive way to do it, is simply buying Glyph 3 beacons from Brakk, which will summon them into a mission when you use it. However, these are not super cheap and they're also one-time use, so once you use them, they're gone. Now, the Brakk is a Mastery Rank 6 semi-automatic secondary shotgun that does primarily impact, but it also has a decent amount of slash and puncture. And for a shotgun, it actually has decent crit, and the status isn't too bad either, because you're firing a ton of pellets, so 5.1% is pretty good. The Brakk is also a very short-ranged weapon, because the spread is absolutely horrendous, it also kicks like a mule on steroids, and the fall-off starts at 11 meters. My favorite setup on the Brakk just goes for crit and raw damage, because this way you get good crit multiplier, and you get a ton of damage per shot with still decent status actually. Because again, 5.1% status is not great unless you're firing 28 pellets with every pull of the trigger. So I don't want to run something like this where yes, you get far more status per projectile, but you're losing a ton of damage per shot in the process, and I don't think that's worth it. Plus, having more upfront damage with the first crit setup means that you'll be able to one-shot enemies of a much higher level, which just feels better with a shotgun. But it's of course not gonna scale as well into high-end game as the second setup, where you can either get more armor shred with the corrosive and heat, or more damage with viral and heat. The Brakk is just crazy and I love it. It's the combination of the punchy sound, the crazy recoil, and the fire rate. The base fire rate means that you can basically fire as fast as you can click. You can unload the entire magazine in a second. And it feels damn good. Plus the reload is super fast as well, so overall this weapon is just fantastic. The only downside here is the damage distribution isn't ideal, though it's very well rounded, so it works well versus all the factions without you having to swap around elemental combos. And of course the range. This is a very short ranged weapon. So I would absolutely recommend you give this weapon a shot, and if you really like it, you can then hunt for the Kuva variant, which is even better. And that's pretty much it, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys. I hope you've enjoyed the video and it was helpful, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.